She was at the stove sautéing onions when I said it. Didn't flinch, didn't look up. Just kept stirring. Like if she moved fast enough, she could outrun the weight of my words. Her hand paused only for a second before she asked, "What do you mean?" Her voice wavered, and that was all I needed to know the blow had landed. I leaned against the fridge, arms crossed. "We need to wrap up the divorce by Friday. I'm sure you'll want to be free for your little weekend getaway." She went still, the spatula limp in her hand, the scent of onions hanging in the quiet like a held breath. That's when the silence roared. We'd met back in college. She was light, wild laughter and sunflower dresses. I was quiet storms and cold logic. She used to say I kept her steady. I wanted to believe that. After graduation, I juggled 3 jobs to dig us out of student debt. She chased her dreams, photography, gallery shows, cross-country trips I financed. I bought her first camera, paid for her first solo exhibition. I asked for very little, just truth. She once teased that I was too reserved to get hurt. I guess that made me an ideal victim. There wasn't some smoking gun, no caught-in-the-act moment. Just little things. Her phone always flipped over, chuckles at texts she wouldn't explain, showers that lasted too long, and a smell I didn't recognize on her clothes. Not perfume, not mine either. Slowly, she started drifting in our bed. Her warmth turned foreign, like she belonged to someone else now. So I stayed still, watched, collected moments, let her think I was blind. Then one night, she forgot to sign out of her email. What I read stripped the breath from my lungs. Filthy messages, photos, plans. He called her things I used to. She sent him pictures wearing the lingerie I bought. One message shattered whatever was left. "He's too passive to notice." Poor guy. That night I didn't confront her. I didn't cry or raise my voice. I lay beside her and whispered good night, knowing it was the last one I'd say with love. My decision came quietly, deliberate and cold like a blade drawn in shadow. I wasn't going to scream. I wouldn't become the angry, broken man she could point at and blame. No, I'd reclaim control. I met with a lawyer. Not one from a website. A friend introduced me to someone ruthless in a tailored suit. She grinned like a predator when I handed her the file. Turned out being the only earner in a marriage has perks. Everything in my name except a utility bill. I moved fast, divided our finances, froze the joint account, redirected all income. I rewrote my will, removed her from insurance and bank authorizations. Quietly, with precision. She never noticed, too busy texting under the dinner table. The final stroke came a week before her girls' trip. I found the Airbnb receipt. Romantic, oceanfront, paid with her hidden card. I listed our home for sale the same day. I had legal proof I was the only owner. Printed out every damning email and image, tucked them in a manila envelope, and labeled it, "For your conscience." Tonight, I waited until she was halfway through cooking, until comfort settled back in the air. Then I dropped the words like a stone into still water. "We need to finish the divorce papers by Friday." She turned slowly, face pale, voice cracking. "What are you talking about?" I pushed the envelope across the counter. She stared at it like it might detonate. "You'll want to pack. Realtors are showing the house on Monday." When she finally peeled the envelope open, her expression crumbled. Layer after layer. Confusion, guilt, anger. "I can explain," she whispered. "I've already read it all," I said. "You've said enough." "So has he." She dropped into a chair like her knees gave out. "It wasn't serious. It didn't mean anything." "Perfect," I said, smiling. "Then you won't miss it." She broke down that night, sobbing against the cold kitchen tiles. Said she still loved me, claimed it was a mistake, that I was the one she chose. But I knew better. She made her choice when she thought I wasn't watching. I gave her what she wanted, freedom, and I took what mattered, power. She expected rage. I gave her precision. I took apart her life with the same quiet she once mistook for weakness. Now the house is gone. I live in a high-rise downtown. No ghosts in the walls. No lies between the sheets. Just peace. Sometimes I revisit that night. Not out of spite, but because it was the moment I reclaimed myself. She stole my trust. I stole her comfort. She left eventually, silent, just a note and the ring I once saved half a year for. I didn't read the note. That version of me is buried. Some men break things when they're betrayed. Me? I wait. I weave. I dismantle with silk and silence. She used to call me passive. Now she calls from numbers I don't recognize. I never answer. Let the silence do it for me.